Have you ever asked, why do I have to hurt this much if God truly loves me? There are moments in our lives when pain becomes more than just a feeling. It becomes our shadow. It follows us in silence, sits beside us at dinner, lays with us in bed, and sometimes it even kneels beside us while we pray, whispering, God's not listening. But let me tell you something with all the love in my heart. That pain you carry is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of your purpose. If you're new here, or if your heart needs healing, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share this message. This is Hold On, It's Not Over. A space where broken hearts find divine hope. Let's begin this journey together. There's a quiet power in pain, not because it feels good, not because we want it, but because pain breaks the shell of comfort and reveals who we truly are. You see, every soul that's walked through fire carries something the world needs, a deeper understanding, a softer heart, a voice that trembles but still speaks. That is purpose being born. Let me tell you a story. Her name was Clara, a kind, church-going woman who never missed a Sunday. She smiled through every service, hugged everyone in the hallway, always baking cookies for the children's class, but no one knew her smile was carrying the weight of grief. Years ago, Clara lost her only child. A simple drive turned tragic, and in one phone call, her world shattered. She didn't speak to anyone for weeks. She sat in silence, holding her son's childhood drawings, asking the same question every night. Why? One night, as she sat in that dark room, tears running down her face, she whispered into the air, God, if I have to live through this, then do something with it. Please, make it matter. That silent prayer didn't change her circumstances, but it changed her direction. The next day, she walked into a children's hospital. She didn't know what to do, only that her broken heart was still beating, and she wanted that beat to count for something. She asked the nurse, Can I sit with a child who's alone today? From that moment forward, every week, Clara read bedtime stories to children in hospital beds. Some were afraid, some were sick, some were too young to understand what pain even meant. But Clara understood, and in that understanding, her pain found its purpose. Dear soul listening today, I want you to pause. Let the tears come if they must. Take a breath and hear this. You are still here because your pain is pregnant with purpose. The nights you cried, they watered something deep inside you. The days you didn't think you'd survive, they built strength that cannot be taught, only earned in the fire. Pain doesn't disqualify you, it prepares you. There's another story. A young man named Jacob. He was a regular guy, played sports, had big dreams. But life had other plans. His mother got sick, fast, too fast, and before he could process anything, she was gone. He cursed God, walked away from the church, started drinking, got lost in the noise of depression and anger. One night, standing on a bridge, ready to end it all, a stranger walked by and said 6 words, You matter more than you know. That's all it took. Jacob stepped back, broke down, and in that breakdown, something holy broke through. Years later, he now runs a center for troubled youth. He stands in front of boys just like him and says, I know what it feels like to lose everything and still have something left inside you worth saving. His deepest wound became someone else's rescue. That's what pain can do when you surrender it to something greater. Now maybe you're asking, but why me? Why did I have to go through this? And the honest, tender answer is, because your voice will matter more because of it, because your empathy will be real, because your story will carry a weight that no textbook ever could. Sometimes, the very thing meant to break you becomes the platform that builds you. Let's talk about silence for a moment, the kind that follows pain, that awful deafening quiet where it feels like heaven has shut its doors. You pray, you beg, and nothing. But here's the truth no one tells you. Silence doesn't mean absence. It means trust. The divine doesn't always shout. Sometimes it waits because it knows something is growing in you. Your pain is not punishment. It is preparation for someone you'll meet, for a path you'll walk, for a purpose you haven't yet imagined. A friend once told me something that never left me. The most powerful ministries are born from the deepest miseries. And I've seen it over and over. The widow who becomes a counselor, the addict who becomes a mentor, the abandoned child who becomes a foster parent. Why? Because they understand. Because their wounds speak louder than words. Because they didn't just survive the storm. They learned to dance in the rain. Maybe you don't feel strong. Maybe you feel like you're barely breathing. But friend, purpose isn't built on perfection. It's built on surrender. All God needs is a heart that says, "Use this pain, Lord. Don't let it go to waste." And He will. He will build beauty from your ashes. He will turn your mourning into movement. He will take that chapter you never wanted and make it the part of your story that saves someone else. Now, hear me closely. Not everyone will understand your pain. Not everyone will see your scars and appreciate the story. But that's okay, because the purpose isn't for everyone. It's for the one who hears your voice and feels less alone, the one who watches your journey and believes again, the one who almost gave up until you told your truth. Let me ask you something bold. What if the very thing you begged God to take away was the very thing He wanted to use? What if the pain that crushed you was the soil He chose for your greatest growth? You don't have to understand it all now. You just have to trust that your tears haven't been wasted. Not one of them. They've been gathered, stored, remembered, and one day you'll look back and say, "I didn't see it then, but now I know. The pain was the beginning of my purpose." So today, take your pain and place it in God's hands. Don't bury it. Don't hide it. Give it meaning. Let it teach. Let it guide. Let it break chains. Let it open doors. Let it lift others. Let it soften hearts. Let it make you more like the one who gave you breath. If this message touched your heart, I invite you to subscribe, like, and share this with someone who's walking through a valley right now. Let them know, hold on, it's not over. And in the comments, if you feel led, just write, "Lord, use my pain." Let that be your prayer, your offering, your beginning. Final question to end. What if the most painful part of your life is actually the part God will use to bless the most people?